our next speaker is Jesse Good. As the customer service science innovator, Jesse B. Good merges behavioral psychology and social science with his hands-on, frontline expertise, gained in facilitating over 1 million customer service experiences. Today, he'll be speaking about how customer service teams can be motivated and enabled to improve service performance. This is speech number 5 from the Professional Speaker Manual. It's 15 to 20 minutes long, and the title is Customer Science. Jesse, be good.
Hold the timer.
Haven't started.
Thank you. You're just fine. 15 to 20 minutes, that's a lot of words. But I promise that after today, this is the last long speech you'll ever have to hear me give. At least until the next time I speak. Recently, I went to a fast food restaurant. It was late in the afternoon, so no one was there. Literally no one was there. I walked in, I was the only person there. There was nobody at the cash register. It was just me. So I filed my way through the queue, and I waited, and waited, and waited. After a couple of minutes, an employee finally arrived to take my order. She took my order. Everything seemed fine. I paid her. She ran off to take care of my order. There was nobody else there, so I didn't feel like it made sense for me to sit down. So I just kind of slid over and stood where I knew that my food would soon be waiting for me. As my food was assembled on the tray, she looked up and said, 84! I was the only person there. And I was standing 5 feet from her. And she took my order. She could have just said, hey, your food's ready. Here you go. But she felt it necessary to shout that. So I went and sat down and I ate, and my food was made wrong. I used to work with a manager that would always say, customer service is not rocket science. After years of research, I've learned that he's right. Customer service is not rocket science. It's harder. Seriously, we have volumes of instruction on building and launching rockets. We've sent 538 people into space. 12 men have walked on the moon. But when it comes to everything that we think we know about customer service, we still struggle. A recent study conducted by Forrester Research found that 80% of businesses believe they offer superior customer service. 8% of their clients agree. Yeah, only 8%. So what's up? Why can't we figure this out? We know customer service is not rocket science. Behavioral science helps us understand why people do what they do. If we take that and merge it with what we know about customer service, we can create a customer science that can help us to influence the desired behaviors in customer care. We know from behavioral science that there are 3 forces that influence our decisions. Now, if you've seen Star Wars, you've heard Obi-Wan talk about the Force. It surrounds us, it binds us, it holds the universe together. The world's first behavioral scientist, right? But there's actually 3 forces, and I need some help with this. Let me have Jill. Come on up here, Jill. You're going to help me out today. Stand right over here, please. Here's what we're going to do. Hold on to that. No, just hold on to that end. We're having a little tug of war. Okay?
You're stronger than I am.
It's not against me. So here's what I want you to pretend. This knot right here represents your goal. Okay? So when I say go, you pull that towards you. Okay? Go. That's pretty easy, right? That's what we think life really is. Now let me show you what it looks like for real. Can I have Michael and Kevin and Bart come on up here, please?
Uh-oh, you're gonna have them hold the other side.
Maybe. Hey, you're quick.
I'm due.
Gentlemen,
Oh, yeah.
okay. So when I say go, good luck. Go. Okay. No, Jill, you're not done. Come on back here.
I'm a failure.
Does she even have a chance?
No.
Not a chance in the world. There are these three forces, and what we know from behavioral science is that if we can get some of those forces on our side, we become more successful. So let me have Kevin and Michael, if you want to work your way over behind me. Grab on behind Jill. Running out of rope over Okay, we're not actually going to pull this time. I just want to demonstrate that when you get two of these forces on your side, you become 4 times more likely to succeed. Better chances, right? But Bart's a big dude. So let's have Bart. Come on over here, Bart. You can unwrap that from around you. Join the team. When you get all 3 of these on your side, you become 10 times more likely to succeed in changing behaviors. Yeah, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh yeah. It's okay, right? Because they're all over there. You guys can sit down. Let's hear it for these guys. These 3 forces, these are words that you've probably heard before, but maybe never applied them in this sense. The first force is called the intrapersonal. You guys heard that before? That term? Anybody know what that means? Intrapersonal? Go ahead.
Like looking external.
Sort of.
Between-
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah. So it's the
Looking
things
internal.
inside me,
Yeah.
specifically my own drive, and if I have the skills that I need to accomplish the task or behavior. The second is the interpersonal. We're all familiar with that one, right? That's between me and other people. And then there's the extrapersonal. Have you guys heard that before? Maybe not, because I just made it up. So this is things outside of people. So you have the intrapersonal, which is inside me, the interpersonal, which is my interactions with all of you, and then the extrapersonal is everything else out in the world. Let's dig in a little bit to each one of these. Who here would consider themselves to be a highly motivated person? Raise them up high. Let's see. Who's the most motivated person here? Okay, stand right over here, please. Okay. I have a challenge for you. Have you guys seen me?
Yeah. You brought one once.
So this is called a perplexus. My challenge for you is to start at the beginning and work your way all the way through in one time. Go.
In one time.
Yeah. Don't fall off or else you lose.
Hello, buddy.
It's pretty good at this.
Chose the right guy.
I know. I took somebody worse next time.
Go.
Not too bad. Okay, sit down. Okay. I guess that you just weren't motivated enough.
I guess I was.
So you guess you couldn't do it. So, is there anybody else who's even more motivated than Josh? Who's more motivated than Josh? Anybody? Okay. Maybe my friend Benjamin Franklin can help motivate you.
Yeah.
Anybody more motivated than Josh now? Okay, come on up, Ariane. Okay. Is that real? Check that, please. I'm gonna do whatever they do at the bank.
Yeah, they like looking
Yeah, that's real. I got it at the
It
bank on the way
appears to
over
be.
here. Okay, this is yours.
Oh no, now you're gonna make me do the thing.
$100.
I'm gonna be so good at this.
Okay, good luck.
Where is the
I
ball.
even, I
Oh,
just
there's
started
the ball.
you.
Where's the ball?
I got it started for you.
Yeah, my son has one of these.
Yeah.
Never completed it yet.
$100 on the line, Ariana.
Whoa.
$100 on the line.
You can do it. You can do it. You're good at this.
I will.
Motivated.
Oh, wait.
You're motivated.
Yeah, you're so motivated right now because I'm giving you money. Oh.
Guess you don't like money.
Say bye-bye, baby. Thank you very much, both of you, for your help. So what I'm trying to show here is, did it have anything to do with how motivated they were? No, not at all. This is what we call the fundamental attribution error. That very often we think when we don't do something, I didn't want it bad enough. I didn't try hard enough. I'm going to do it better next time. But that's not the case. Very often what we need is a skill. Okay? Second is the interpersonal force. This is between us and other people around us. How many of you here have done something stupid or gotten into trouble doing something with a friend that they wanted to do but you didn't? Show of hands. A friend got you into trouble. Anybody want to share what happened? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You're the first person I've ever had want to share.
Oh, not really.
Oh, nobody ever wants to share what kind of trouble their friends got them in. Go ahead.
I actually got them into trouble. I talked to Oh, Eric probably has a bunch of stories.
Yeah, I bet he does.
He was always in trouble, huh?
We had a neighbor that was really grumpy, and I thought we should kind of punish them for their grumpiness. So we took some packets of mayonnaise and ketchup and some Reese's Buttercups and dolled up the inside of their mailbox. Little did we know they were sitting in their car, ready to go somewhere watching
And they
us.
saw you.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Okay, so the interpersonal, we know that the people around us influence us. Third is the extra-personal. So this is everything outside of people. I had the opportunity a few years ago. I used to manage at a bowling center. It was a family entertainment center. And one of my big pet peeves, which I've kind of already mentioned today, is when you walk into a restaurant or an entertainment venue, up to the kiosk, and no one is there. I hate waiting, and I hate making people wait. So I would always tell the employees who I worked with, you have to stay up here. You have to stay right here. Even though there are other things to do, stay right here. Myself and the other employees will take care of that. Your job is to stay right here at the cash register. And there was one girl I worked with, her name was Rochelle, and she just could not get it. Bless her heart. She wanted to be so helpful, and I would leave to go clean up a bowling lane, and in a few minutes I would see a group of people waiting up by the cash register, and Rochelle wasn't there. That was one of my things that I hated the most. So I figured out a solution. I went and got some duct tape, and I taped her. No, I'm just kidding. But I did get some blue painter's tape, and I made a little 3-foot square on the floor. Now those further towards the front can see what I've done right here. And I told her, stay right there and don't cross that line. And she didn't. She would go like this when she needed things. Or she would even ask permission if she had to step 1 foot outside of the line. That was all it took, was a visual cue. Didn't have anything to do with motivation. Didn't have anything to do with the people around her because I kept telling her not to do it, but she did it anyway. All it took was a visual cue. So let's turn this around a little bit. I mentioned a restaurant at the beginning that I had been to and had sort of a mediocre experience. Recently, my wife and I went to a Chick-fil-A. Any Chick-fil-A fans here? Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, because I love Chick-fil-A. We showed up at lunchtime, tons of people in line, but the line still moved very fast. When it was our turn to take our order, one of 4 cashiers was ready to take our order. I placed my order, he asked for my name. Then we went and sat down, and at Chick-fil-A, let me see again, who's been to Chick-fil-A? Just about everybody. They give you those square cups. You guys are familiar with the square plastic cup, and they put all your dipping sauces in there, and it's great. My wife and I went and sat down, we're eating, having a great time, and after a couple of minutes, a an employee that they call a runner comes up and delivers my food, and he says, "Jesse, here's your order." And I said, "Thank you." And what did he say?
Your name, Jesse.
"My pleasure." Right? It's Chick-fil-A. My pleasure. That's pretty awesome. Our meal was made perfectly. It was fantastic. We had a great experience. So let's go back and compare what we've learned. Do you guys remember what that first force was that we talked about? Is the intrapersonal. Do you remember what the employee said after I thanked him for bringing me my food? My pleasure. You think that Chick-fil-A just hires the nicest people in town?
Yes, definitely.
You would like to think that. Their hiring pool is the same. They're hiring the same people as McDonald's and Wendy's and everybody else. The difference is that they put marginally more effort into training their employees. They have a very specific skill, a very specific behavior that they are training to those employees. That's fantastic. We were rushed through the line very quickly. Our order was made properly. Chick-fil-A has one of the highest accuracy rates in the industry. And according to QSR magazine, they were the most likely restaurant to say please, to say thank you, and to smile at their customers. Probably not a big surprise. According to this survey, about 94% of Chick-fil-A employees smiled at people in the drive-thru, compared to 72% at McDonald's. So you can see the difference. You're not surprised, are you? So these are trained behaviors, right? We're making orders properly. We are telling people thank you. But to maintain those behaviors, Chick-fil-A uses a culture of customer service. It's that thing where it's expected and it's respected. Now, I mentioned working at the bowling alley. That's a job that's very nights and weekends. And you have a lot of high school-aged kids, a lot of college-aged kids coming to work there. Who wants to work the weekends? None of them do. But Saturday night was the busiest time. So what we did was we picked out our best employees, and we said, we're going to have you guys work Saturday night. Don't worry, you'll get Friday off, but we need you to work Saturday. And we started calling them the Dream Team. After we started calling them the Dream Team, everybody wanted to work Saturday. Jesse, what do I have to do to be on the Dream Team? What am I lacking? Can I work Friday night so I can practice to get good enough to work Saturday night? Because it became a social influence, where all their friends were doing it. It was the cool thing to do. And we can see that at Chick-fil-A. You don't want to be the one employee working at Chick-fil-A who doesn't say, my pleasure, right? And then everybody else is going to give you the eyeball. So that's the second one, interpersonal. Let's talk quickly about the third. You guys remember what the third one was? The extra personal. You guys are fantastic. When they took our order, Chick-fil-A put our dipping sauces into that plastic cup, remember? That plastic cup, they have those in a variety of colors, and each color has pictures on it. Now with the picture and the color of the cup, no two cups are alike. So it might be a red one with chicken, it might be a blue one with a cow. None of them are the same. And when that cashier took my order, he put in my name, and then he also put which cup he was giving me. And now that runner who's delivering my food has a visual cue so that when he comes out to deliver my food, he sees that cup and he knows my name is Jesse. And him saying, Jesse, here's your order, that's a lot better than 84 when I'm standing 5 feet away, right? So here's the thing. I didn't choose Chick-fil-A just because I really like eating there and it's easy to pick out each of these things. I picked them because they are what we call in behavioral science a positive deviant. Despite the fact that they're playing on the same field as everybody else, they're doing way better. We know from research that they have a higher employee engagement rate. They were listed last year in a survey showing some of the best organizations in customer service. They were the only fast food restaurant to make the list, and they ranked number 2 overall. But what about money, right? Because money, cash is king, isn't that what they say? Chick-fil-A outsells Kentucky Fried Chicken about 4 to 1 on a per store average.
And they're not open Sundays.
And they're not open on Sundays. They also outsell McDonald's by almost 2 to 1 on a per store average. It's pretty incredible. So these three forces, you guys remember what these three forces are? The
Interpersonal.
okay, and the extra personal. Okay, when organizations underutilize or misalign those forces, then that's when you get mediocre customer service. But the best organizations use those in their favor. They offer marginally better customer service. Their customer experiences improve, as well as their customer relationships. The best organizations in customer service keep their customers 50% longer. They spend less on marketing costs, and they have higher net revenue. So as my manager told me, just as a reminder, it's not rocket science. It's customer service science. Thank you.